Imagine this, my young brother. I want you to visualize, not even that far into the future. I'm only talking like 4 to 5 years from now. Imagine you wake up and you're a straight player. Like you rise before the enemy, rise before the sun even comes up, like 4 a.m. You get in your coffee. You do some sit-ups, push-ups, maybe you go on a quick run, and not because it's your official workout, you only do it because it gets you pumped, ready for your day. You get in maybe that quick protein shake, you do your morning routine, take a cold shower, you get dressed, go into your home office, you sit at your desk because you work from home like a top G, you got no boss, no one to answer to but yourself. Then your assistant comes on in, she starts rubbing on your feet, telling you just what a wonderful, sexy guy you are, and I'm just kidding. You ain't got no assistant yet, dummy. Chill out, my guy. Don't get too ahead of yourself. You ain't that cool yet. Anyways, hey look, it's Friday, you're finishing up all your work for the week, and so you order some delivery, some DoorDash. 30 minutes goes by, you get a text from your delivery guy saying, sorry bro, running a little late. Finally, the doorbell rings, you open up the door. Here's your order, sir. And then you're looking at the guy. Travis? You say his name out loud and you realize this is your high school bully. This dude right here, this guy gave you hell, bro. He was constantly messing with you, constantly picking on you, making fun of you. And this is the same dude that all the girls were chasing after. He was Mr. Popular. Now he's here at your house delivering you food. And obviously you play it cool, but deep down you can't help it. It feels good, bro. It's like sweet revenge. Your bully literally drove down to your new beautiful house that you own, and he's serving you. And of course, you being the solid man that you are, you do nothing but just show him love, right? Hey bro, good to see ya. How you been, man? You look good, bro. Hope all has been well. And then you send him off with a big old $20 tip, just cause you can, right? Moral of the story is this. Back in high school, Travis, he ignored self-improvement. All he cared about was just living for the moment, being wild, being the class clown, always seeking attention, always partying, drinking, doing drugs, hanging out, bullying other kids like you. You, my young brother, you took a different path. You focused on self-improvement. You focused on becoming the next best version of yourself. You focused on becoming your most masculine, most progressive self. And now the roles have drastically changed. Now Travis is no longer the man on top, and you are no longer the odd one out. You kept your head down and you created for yourself a little empire now. You've got some momentum in your life. Things are really looking up for you. People love you. Women love you. Your own high school bully can't even help but love you. Now, quick story before we go ahead and dive into this thing. Something similar actually happened to me just a handful of years back. I was always like that kind of like nerdy kid in school. I didn't really have like a big group of friends. And I always had like my hands to something, bro. Like I was always working on something, or like I always had these dreams and passions I was chasing after, and people would always make fun of me. Especially once I started doing music. I remember when I was doing music, bro. This is when all the bullies came out, bro, and they were just pointing, making fun. And I remember one bully specifically, man, him and his friends actually, like we'd be walking down the high school halls and he would take like bags of like mushed up fruit, like in Ziploc bags, and like throw them at us as hard as he can. And usually I'd be able to like dodge it or something so the fruit wouldn't explode on me, thank God. And I remember after like 4 or 5 years, this is like when I started doing YouTube and stuff like that, and people started kind of noticing me. And I remember I ordered Pizza Hut, and who delivered me my pizza? My high school bully. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, like deep down it felt good, dude. I know it's like kind of dark to say and stuff like that, but it did feel good. And him coming to my door and giving me my pizza, you know, you have that feeling that's just like, I hate to admit it, but you kind of feel like the man. You kind of feel like the king, and he's like the peasant. I know that's like horrible to say, but I'm just being real, bro. I'm just being transparent. And don't get me wrong, bro. That's not even in my blood to like look down on someone like that, you know, from that angle. And I was totally cool with the guy. Like we gave each other like a fist bump, and I asked him how he was doing, and I gave him a good tip. And then I would actually see him consistently after that. We were totally cool with each other. We actually didn't even discuss high school. We didn't even talk about any of that. We just left it in the past where it belonged. And also, no shade to anybody who works at Pizza Hut or Domino's or anything like that. The moral of the story was just simply the fact that because I focused on me rather than focusing on instant gratification in high school, over those following handful of years, I was able to kind of rise up in status. And it felt good. It felt good to progress as a man and become the next version of myself, and to kind of have like that direction, that vision, that focus, right? So with that said, my goal with this video is to give you guys 12 habits that will put you years ahead of any other men your age. Kicking it off with number 1, spend more time creating than consuming. My biggest word of encouragement to you guys, especially all of you young dudes, you gotta build something that lights people up. People these days, bro, especially young people, young men, teenagers, they're so addicted to themselves. And all these companies, bro, they know this. And this is how they're able to manipulate and get sales. Men these days, they're so focused on the next big this, the next big that. I mean, why do you think the grooming industry, the fitness industry, all these industries are just absolutely booming? Because everybody's so addicted to themselves. Oh, what steps should I take to get my muscles bigger? What's the best hair product to give me, the best, sexiest hairstyle? Which I'm not saying any of these things are bad. I'm not saying that we need to improve our physical appearance. I'm just saying that these days, that has become the absolute number one main focus in life. And everybody is so addicted to themselves, what they look like to other people. They're so addicted to the limelight. They're so addicted to just self. And so with that in mind, you can actually use this to your advantage. You could build up something that fills that person's need. Honestly, bro, like building up a company and starting something up is not as hard as you think it is. It just takes hard work and consistency. You gotta think to yourself, what is something that I can create that can make that person feel better, look better? How can I create a product that makes that person feel like the man? And now check this out. What I want you to do is this. I want you to do a little homework. I want you to try to think about the last thing that you bought, whether it was through an email, or you were in the store, or you saw some advertisement thing pop up. Whatever it is that you bought, really analyze it. Think to yourself, how did this company, how did they hook me? What did they say? What did they do? What made me want to purchase their product? What made me more of a consumer rather than a producer? Remember, you guys, everybody's addicted to something. Most people, 99%, are addicted to themselves. And if you're being real with yourself, if I'm being real with myself, there is a part of me that's addicted to me as well. But what I'm trying to do on a daily basis is just be aware of this and take that addiction, take that obsession that I have with myself and place that on something bigger than myself, right? I'm trying to take that obsession and put it on you guys. How can I make your lives better? I'm trying to take that obsession and put it on my family, my future family that I want. I want to start having kids soon, right? And so that's become my new obsession. That's like my driving force, bro. Like, I so badly want to create something. I want to create a legacy, not just for me, but for my family. I want my kids to have a beautiful childhood like I had. I want you guys to have the same thing. I want you guys to have a beautiful life. I want to build up you guys so you can have a beautiful family that you can spend time with. And I want to teach you guys exactly how to achieve that. And check this out, just final note. When you take that obsession, when you take that addiction and you place it on something else bigger than just yourself, your work ethic becomes mean, becomes beastly, bro. You look at all these top dogs, all these top G's, and you see, you look at them and you're like, man, how do they work so hard? Man, how do they just, they're relentless. And it's simply because they're operating outside of themselves, right? If our focus is just on us all the time, eventually that flame, it's gonna burn out, right? And so you gotta think to yourself, who am I doing this for, bro? Is it just for little old me? Or is it for my family? Is it for my community? Is it for God? When you have something bigger than just yourself as the driving force, that fire in the belly, that's when it starts to ignite. Number 2, find mentorship. You need to find someone in your life that you want to be like. And you need to find someone that you look up to, that you could take their lead. And I'm not like talking about like your favorite like hip hop rapper or rock star on MTV. I'm not talking about any of like those knuckleheads. No shade to them, no shade to all those guys popping on the radio charts. But I mean, if you're being honest with yourself, like a lot of these guys, if you really listen to the lyrics and stuff, like they're absolute knuckleheads, bro. Like the beats might be dope, the melodies might, get you moving, get you pumped up. But that's not what you want to be like. I'm talking about guys that are spiritually, physically, mentally, financially, relationally, where you want to be at in life in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You need wise men like this that you can follow and that will show you the light, that will show you the way. You need men that can show you that you can do more, be more, that challenge you. See, the problem with young men these days, especially teenagers, is they think they know it all. Even you, bro. Like, even if you think to yourself, well, I know I don't know it all. Like, I know I'm a young guy and I got a lot to learn. No, bro, you got a lot to learn. Like, you really don't know jack squat, diddly squat, nothing. And I mean that with respect. I don't mean that in a degrading way whatsoever. I mean that like in the most brotherly love possible way I can say it. Check it out, bro. And even me being 30 years old right now, like even I know, even for me, that I got like a lot to learn, bro. Like I know I'm just still like a rookie, I got like a noob at life, right? And so I'm speaking to myself here as well. Like I gotta realize this myself. But especially when you're young, when you're like a teenager, when you're 14, 15, 16, like it's still, and even into your early 20s, you gotta realize that your hormones they're going crazy right now. You might have just hit puberty. And actually, bro, even you being a man, a young man, this time in your life, this is probably where you're most feminine, because you're just so emotional, right? All these hormones are going crazy. I see a lot of young dudes, they think they're so cool because they're like being rebellious and they're like, you know, not listening to their parents and stuff, and they're just, you know, they're always getting mad at their mom and their dad, right? They're the type of guys who's like, it's not a phase, mom. And it's like, bro, by you doing all that, that's just proof right there that you're just like, you're so emotional right now, bro. You got so many emotions and hormones, and you just got a lot to figure out. And so again, the very best thing you can do right now in this moment of your life, bro, if you're in the midst of all that, if you're being real with yourself and you know, like you feel all these emotions, you know, you do notice that you're getting mad at your mom and dad a lot, or you're getting mad at your teachers, or whatever the case, the best thing you can do is at least just be aware of it, bro. I remember when I was like 15, 16, I remember I was aware of this too. I was actually pretty good at this, of being aware of myself. I wasn't the best, but I was pretty aware. Like I knew when I was in like my awkward phase, I knew when I was kind of like in my emo phase, and I knew I needed to get out of it. And that's simply because I had like dudes in my life at that time that were constantly slapping me upside my head. So be aware, bro. Be aware of your immaturity at this age. Actually, be aware of your immaturity pretty much at every single age. Because I know dudes who are even like in their 40s and 50s that are still pretty immature and they're not even aware of it. But anyways, especially while you're young, be aware. Even be careful of your friends and like getting advice from them. I've seen young guys like my nephews, for instance, where they're like, well, you know, like my friend Ryan, like even he agrees with me, bro. And it's like, bro, Ryan don't know jack squat either, dude. What are you talking about? I would say maybe listen to your friends like 10% of the time. Actually, listen more to your parents. Even if you don't agree with them on everything, listen way more to them, because come to find out, like once you start hitting like 25, 30, you start looking back and you start realizing, oh crap, maybe my parents were actually right. Like they came about it maybe in a wrong way, like they were very mean and demeaning about it, but they're actually kind of right, like low key. Number 3, work even harder when your boss isn't watching. So for those of you who maybe have just got their first job, or like you're working for a boss that you don't even like, that kind of treats you bad, the best thing you can do, bro, is work even harder. Like that needs to be your mindset. Work even harder when he's not looking. And the reason why you want to do this is simply because how you do anything is how you do everything. How you do the small is how you do the big. And so if you can't handle the big tasks in life, how are you going to be able to handle the small? If you're doing everything just based off of validation and just wanting to be seen, well, that's not really starting off your life on the right foot. That's not laying a solid foundation. You gotta have that integrity, bro, despite if people are looking or not, despite if you even get celebrated for it or not. These days, bro, nobody has integrity. Ask yourself, does anybody your age, do they have integrity? Or are they always trying to cheat? Or are they always trying to shortcut the system? Always trying to find a hack? Always trying to figure out some little trick, right? They're all into this like trickery of trying to just get to the top faster. Don't be that guy, my brother. Don't be the guy who always tries to do little shortcuts and hacks and thinks he gets away with it because no one saw. I guarantee you, bro, you will become a loser. You will become a loser. So hey, bro, when your boss steps out of the room, work even harder, become even more efficient. And I guarantee you, your boss eventually, he will see the fruits of your labor. And not only that, bro, like you're gonna build up such a mean work ethic. Cause like, hey, if you ever wanna start up your own business, if your dreams are becoming an entrepreneur, having your own kind of company, or having your own products out, whatever, or doing like your own YouTube channel, bro, I can promise you this, I can promise you that you're always going to be overworked and underappreciated. It's like me, I have this new Masculine Masterclass program that I just got to releasing a couple months ago, and I literally get comments from guys saying, oh, Dre, I deserve this for free. I literally have comments of guys saying that to me, that they deserve my program for free. And they don't realize the amount of hard work and stress, bro, that I put into that program. Besides like me actually living my life for the last 15 years and going through some of the deepest, darkest moments of my life and then using what I learned and putting it into that program. Besides even that, we're not even talking about all the years of blood, sweat, and tears and the amount of stress that it takes actually creating this and creating like an actual website and learning how to sell it. All the books that I read to learn how to actually create a good product. And then meanwhile, also trying to stay consistent here on YouTube and come out with videos every single day while trying to hire editors and like, dude, I can go on and on for the next 2 hours describing what I do on a normal day-to-day basis with emails and working with my team and creating new videos and reading books because I have to always constantly come up with new ideas and tips for you guys, right? So that's just besides all of that. But check it out, bro, not to like go on this whole rant about how hard I work. All I'm saying is that nobody sees any of this behind the scenes work. Nobody cares. That's why these guys are saying, oh, I deserve it for free, right? So what I'm trying to say here is if you're working for a boss right now, you're a young man, you can't even handle the hard work and doing it behind the scenes, doing it unseen, then bro, it's gonna be hard to be very successful trying to do your own thing. Because when you're doing your own thing, bro, talk about being underappreciated, right? So don't be like the rest of the young dudes out here, always trying to find a shortcut, always trying to find a hack, thinking they're just gonna magically become some great entrepreneur and that they're just gonna like make millions, right? No, if you can't get the little infinitesimal small stuff right now, you're gonna have a hard time transitioning over into the real deal stuff. Number 4, take criticism with grace. These days, bro, I see so many young men, and this is something that you do not want to be a part of. And it even says this in the second book of Timothy. It talks about in the end times how children are going to disobey their parents. And basically that they're going to disrespect and dishonor elders in general. And this is the very last thing you want to do, bro. And I was kind of just talking about this a little bit earlier about how you need to be aware of your immaturity as a young man. And so that's why it is so important, bro, to take criticism with grace. Young men these days, they don't do that. When they receive criticism, whether it's constructive or not, and especially from their parents, oh, what do my parents know? Oh, my dad's stupid, dude. He doesn't know anything. Right? We hear this all the time. You've probably even caught yourself saying it. I know I did when I was younger as well. But kind of like how I was saying earlier, bro, as you get older, you look back and you every time, bro, this is even what your parents were saying when they were your age about their parents. Every time, you're like, oh crap, yeah. Man, my dad was right about that. I catch myself doing this all the time, bro. And so I don't care how your parents come about it, bro, or how any elder comes about it. They might come at it in a rude way. I will agree with you on that. They might come at you totally sideways. But bro, I promise you, if you can just calm the frick down, don't let your emotions get the best of you, just calm down, bite your freaking lip if you have to, and just listen. Don't be so quick to attack back and talk and argue. Just be calm, because that's essentially what a man does, right? He remains calm, he remains level-headed. Cool, calm, and collected is where your mentality needs to be at, and just listen. Honestly, bro, you want to be a man quick, this is the best route to go. See, most men these days, they just, even older guys like in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, they just erupt, they react. Because they never learned this when they were young, your age, then they carry it on over into their marriage. And this is why a lot of marriage break apart and, divorce happens, is because nobody has humility. Everybody's constantly disrespecting each other. Men are constantly disrespecting their wives, and their wives are disrespecting their husbands. And everybody's just real quick to get offended, and they're all just emotional and sensitive. And so this is not how you want to be. And so the best thing you can practice right now is when you receive criticism from your parents, whether it's in a negative or positive way, just remain cool, bro. It says in the Bible, this is the only commandment that has a promise attached to it, that when you honor your parents, that your days will actually be long. You'll have a long and prosperous life, right? So the next time your parents may be getting mad at you because like you didn't take out the trash or something like so like infinitesimal like that, or say like you came home a little too late after curfew, whatever the case, bro, even if it doesn't seem like a big deal and your parents are just chewing your ass out, bro, at the end of the day, you need to honor your parents. I mean, if they're paying for your rent, if like you're literally living in the house and you don't have to pay rent, bro, you need to keep your mouth freaking shut, bro. You have no right whatsoever. Even if you are helping paying rent or doing chores around the house or whatever, still, bro, zip the lips. This is a great time in your life right now to really build and practice self-control and just being able to listen rather than doing what 99% of everybody else does in the world and just only thinks about what they're gonna say back and how they're gonna win the argument. So to finish this off, I just wanna quickly say that taking criticism is absolutely required to go to that next level in your life. And the more that you can handle criticism, the more that you can handle taking it, whether you actually approve of it or not, doesn't matter. But the better that you can take it, the more you can actually stay focused in life. Even like me, bro, even to this day, I get a lot of criticism. I get a lot of comments, flooding in that tell me, oh, Dre, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And just being real with you guys too, I mean, some of these comments are harsh, bro, and they really come at me sideways. But I've learned how to stay cool, how to stay calm. And sometimes, bro, when I stay level-headed, I'm actually able to think straight and I can think logically. And sometimes these comments that I get, even though they hurt, sometimes I'm like, man, that guy is actually, he is right. He is speaking facts right now. And then I'll take that criticism, and it actually helps me become a better man, a better businessman, a better family man, all of it. But if I wasn't open to that criticism and I constantly just attacked back, then I would have capped myself off from becoming even better. Number 5, make your voice heard. Now, this is something I wish I would have done when I was younger. I was always just such a quiet, shy guy, which is okay. But back when I was really young, I would never push myself out of that box, out of my comfort zone to go out and converse and engage with people. And this really set me back, bro. It really did. It made it a lot more harder to create YouTube videos and do the kind of things that I want to do in life. So I encourage you, no matter what it takes, even if you have a lot of social anxiety like me, step out of your box, contribute to the world. I promise you that the more you connect with other people, bro, so much more farther ahead in life you will become. It's like even my dad, bro, around town, he just got voted best carpet cleaner in the whole city. And yeah, don't get me wrong, he's a great carpet cleaner, but the one thing that he does so amazingly is he's just such a personal guy. He knows exactly how to talk to people. He knows exactly how to connect with them. People love my dad. Anywhere we go, bro, he's celebrated. We walk into Starbucks and everybody's like, Andre, hey, what's going on? People love the guy. He could literally run for mayor without any promo, without anything, and everybody would vote for him. And that's what happens when you step out of your box. That's what happens when you engage with people and you actually make your voice heard, right? And I'm not saying to be like Mr. just nice guy all the time and agree with everybody. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying to stand up, make yourself known, make your voice heard, and even if you don't agree with somebody, you can state that. Not in a disrespectful way, obviously, but it's okay to be a little bit opinionated, because even if people agree with you or not, hey, at least they'll respect you. So that's a big one, bro. That'll take you far in life. And just a little bonus tip here, bro, you really want people to listen to you, call them by their first name. When you're in conversation with people, keep on saying their first name. And honestly, bro, people love this. This is the sweetest sound to people's ears. Number 6, read one book a month. Now check it out, bro. Just by spending maybe 10, 20 minutes a night reading a book, maybe reading 10, 20 pages, whatever your goal is every single night. These extra minutes that you set aside of learning, of growing, of evolving as a man, this is gonna continuously just stack on top of each other. Say you spend a total of 1 hour every single week, all those minutes add up to 1 hour. And then by the end of the month, that's what, 4.5 hours total? Imagine this, bro. Imagine the guy, if you're gonna compare, imagine the guy who spends 4.5 hours reading versus the guy who spends 4.5 hours swiping through TikTok or playing video games or getting high or whatever. And then those 4.5 hours over the months, over the years, they start to really add up, right? Who's gonna be farther ahead in life? The guy who's messing around just doing useless things, or the guy who's actually putting in that work? It's a simple strategy, bro. It's simple math. Check it out, bro. So many guys these days, I used to be one of them, who always used to say, oh, I'm just not really a reader, bro. It's just not really my thing. I just don't like it. I hear everybody saying that. Bro, you wanna become a success, you wanna actually make something of your life, those words cannot come out of your mouth. Oh, I'm just not a reader. Are you kidding me, bro? That's so weasel-like. It really is. You cannot be that guy. Your new vocabulary, what it needs to be is, oh, I love reading. Yeah, I am that guy. You gotta set this new monologue, this new narrative in your head, bro. If you spend 3 to 4 hours a night playing video games, bro, you have enough time to spend 10, 20 minutes a day reading. There's no excuses. Number 7, plan one electronic-free evening every single week. So just one day a week, have one, not even day, one evening where you have no electronic devices anywhere in sight. The problem with these things right here, bro, they're great tools, but at the same time, they can be extremely distracting. The constant information, negative information that social media is injecting in your brain cells, you're like the rest of the 99% of guys out there, just, like a freaking zombie, brain dead, just becoming dumber and dumber. This is honestly our generation's war, bro. And like my editor June says, you don't want to be on the losing side of this. You don't want to be flirting with the enemy constantly 24/7. So set one night a week where you just have none of these distractions in front of your face. The reason why I say this, the reason why I don't say like spend a whole day without it or anything like that is because I just want you to get used to just setting aside just an evening. Watch it how amazing that evening can actually be. Take that time to maybe take a girl out on a date, spend some time with your friends, work out, do something useful, and watch how great of a time you'll actually have. Just being aware, being in the moment, rather than being just glued to that screen constantly. If you look around you, bro, men are becoming dumber. They're becoming so much more stupider because of all the funny prank videos that they're seeing on here. And if you really want to step up to the plate, if you really want to go to that next level in your life, you need to start practicing this habit of just setting aside an evening without any distractions. And then once you get good at that, start doing it 2 times a week, 3 times a week. Life really starts to become beautiful the less distracted you are. Which leads me into number 8. This is a very big one. Turn off notifications. Now trust me, bro, I've done the whole thing where like, I have a little thing that pops up that says, if I'm on Instagram too long, it says, you reached your time limit. You can click OK or ignore. Which one do I always click every single time? Ignore, and then I'm back on Instagram again. So I thought about this the other day. I retraced my steps. I'm like, how did I even end up on Instagram? Sometimes I end up on these apps and I don't even realize, like, how did I even I was working right now. I just had been working for like 10 minutes and now all of a sudden I'm on this stupid app. Or like I was working out at the gym and then I realized I'm in the corner of the room watching some stupid Instagram or TikTok video. So I retraced it back. I was like, what led to this? Oh, it was a notification that popped up. It said I got like a new DM or a new comment or whatever. So I actually got this advice from Hamza, I think it was. And he said, just turn off the notifications, bro, and realize how much more productive you will become. Because think about it. If you're sitting here working on your laptop, if you're a YouTuber like me and you're creating videos and ding, ding, ding. Oh, my bro, he sent me this funny prank video. Oh, let me check it out. Blah, blah, blah. And now you're scrolling. Now 10 minutes goes by, 20 minutes, 30 minutes goes by. And then you go back and you're like, oh shoot, where was I? This happens to me a lot, bro. I'm being fully transparent with you guys. That's why I had to stop this. I had to turn off the notifications. Because when I do this, when I constantly get distracted, even if it's like with a text or something, I also lose my workflow, bro. Like I'm on this wavelength and I'm catching this momentum, and the second I get distracted, I have to get back on track, which is hard to do. It's not an easy thing to do to get back into that motivation loop when you fall out of it. So right now, go into like I think it's notifications, or I think it's a show previews. Like just turn it all off, bro. You don't need to constantly be notified when someone sends you a DM or likes your photo. All it is just constant distraction, distracting you from your purpose and your current task at hand. Number 9, discard damaged clothing. If you got old clothing that has big old rips, holes in it, if you got shoes where like your pinky toes freaking hanging out the seam, your best bet, bro, is just to get rid of it, throw it away. I know it sounds super cliche and super cheesy, and I always hated hearing this when people said it, but like that first impression, it really is everlasting, bro. Like that first impression is very, very important when you meet somebody or when you go on a date or if you're trying to do business and you come up looking like a hobo. That can't happen, my dude. If you want people to really take you seriously, you really need to present yourself in an elegant manner. And now we got like all these rock star icons and like all these like famous knuckleheads on TV who come out here rocking big old baggy clothes and like freaking pink mohawks and just, honestly, bro, it's immaturity. And if you are wanting to showcase yourself as a man, if you want people to respect you, then you need to look respectable. I don't mean to be so superficial, but it is what it is, my dude. And a lot of young guys, I see them these days, like they like get all these nose piercings and like paint their fingernails black and stuff. Think in their head that like, oh yeah, this is showing like how mature I am. Like I can do what I want because like I'm a man. And all this is doing is just, like my nephew, Drex, he does this, bro. I'm putting him on blast right now because I hate how he does this. He does the whole painting the fingernails thing. He rocks like these big old parachute pants and like dyes his hair funky colors and stuff. And it's whatever, bro. Like it's just him being young. But at the same time, he's gonna look back in just a couple years from now and be like, bro, like what the heck was that? And then all this is doing, bro, like when you are constantly trying to prove yourself and prove that like you're an adult now, like it makes you look even more younger. It makes you look even more immature because you're just trying so hard. If you just downplay it, bro, you just wear a nice simple t-shirt, one that fits you nice. If you got just a nice simple hairstyle, one that actually complements your looks, rather than like wearing like these like big old mullets now that the kids are rocking and stuff. Like if you do the opposite of that and just play it cool, play it chill, like you don't care really, people are gonna start actually seeing you more as a man. It's kind of like a less is more type of thing. And I've kind of had to learn that the hard way. Like the more older I get and the more like focused I get about work and business and building a family, I look back and I'm like, why did I even like care so much about how my hairstyle was and like my style? Like I need to make sure people see my style and see that I'm, you know, like I do like I fold up the sleeves, or like I do a sock tuck, or like that stuff just doesn't even matter to me anymore, bro. Like who cares what the heck people think about me? I need to focus on my mission right now. And so if you as a man stay more mission focused, I'm going on a whole different rant now, but if you stay more mission focused as a man, people are gonna have a lot more respect for you, and you're just gonna be that much more farther ahead in life. When you're sitting here worrying about your style and like self-expression, right? Yeah, you're like a rocking chair, bro. You think you're making moves, but you're not going anywhere. So hey, look, just to finalize this, take all your old clothes. It's not cool if like there's big old holes and rips in it and your shoes are all old and raggedy. Get rid of them. Get just a couple nice simple clothes, some nice t-shirts, nice pants, whatever. Or if you have old clothing that's kind of just immature, very loud, very like punk rockish or whatever, has a lot of bright stripes and colors, maybe just pass it down. Give it to someone else in need. Don't just have it hanging up in your closet collecting dust year after year after year. Someone could actually really treasure that and use that, right? It's like the whole quote, one man's trash is another man's treasure. It's kind of funny. One last note right here. My friend Joel, he was kind of like this. Like he always didn't care about his style or whatever. His shoes were always just jacked. But the second he got a girl, he's hitting me up saying, hey, so where'd you get that shirt? Number 10, make your bed as soon as you awake. Honestly, my brothers, that is task number 1 of the day. Like I said earlier, if you can't do the small things like this, the infinitesimal, minute, small things that don't even matter, how are you gonna do the things that actually matter? And honestly, this really sets the tone for the rest of your day. This is what actually helps you catch momentum. A lot of you guys out here saying, oh, you know, 2023 is my year, man. I'm about to freaking kill it, dude. 2023 is the new me. But they're waking up every single day, not doing their bed. Their freaking laundry is sitting in a huge pile in the corner of their room. It's like, bro, are you serious right now? You can't even handle the most simplest little tasks, and you think you're gonna become some high-level hotshot in 2023? And if you're sitting here thinking like stuff like this, like doing chores or whatever, is it's just so hard and it's just so miserable. Oh man, I just hate doing it. One thing I try to do in my life, especially with like my day-to-day chores, my day-to-day work, is compare. Think to yourself. Like when I have to do laundry, I think to myself, laundry does suck, right? You know, it's not something I want to do right now. But what if I had to do laundry? You know, what if I had one severed hand and I had to do laundry with just my left hand? I mean, now that would really suck, right? Now that wouldn't be so fun. But the fact that I have both of my hands, I have my mobility, I'm not in some wheelchair disabled. Okay, now actually doing laundry, now it's a blessing, right? And I try to apply this concept to every area of my life. Everything that I do, anything that takes a lot of mental strength, I think to myself, hey, this is a blessing, this is an opportunity. And this is what really helps me get that ball rolling in the beginning of the day, is looking at this entire day ahead of me as an opportunity, as a blessing. I get to do this. Number 11, build high-level skills. These types of things are things that will, no matter what era, no matter what generation, no matter what time in life, they will always be required. They will always be needed. These are the type of things that will always be important, that people will pay high amounts of money for, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a high paid skill. So these are the type of things that you want to be learning, even if it's like a side hustle, a side hobby, right? If you have a job, or if you have, if you're going to school, always make sure that when you're coming back home, you're always dedicating at least an hour or two every single day to this high level skill. And check this out, bro, don't get it twisted. I know people in my own life who have went to school for 3, 4, 5 years to learn what I do. And yet when I ask them questions, when I ask them how they're gonna grow their business, or what did they learn, they have no answers. They spent all this time in school, yet they didn't build anything. They didn't build any skill. So the best way to go about this, bro, is to just go on YouTube, learn through other mentors online, and then actually apply it. Come home every single day and build something. whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's a blog, whether it's learning how to do like copyright, or whether it's learning how to do email sequences, whatever, learn all of it. There's that 3-book trilogy by Russell Brunson. I believe it's .com secrets, funnel secrets, and expert secrets. Those 3 books right there, bro, I'll link them down below on my Amazon like affiliate page. Those will take you way farther along in life than college ever would. You can learn it in 1/10 of the time. So you don't even need to go to school for these things. You just actually need to be putting in the work. And then when you learn those things in those books, apply them immediately. Build something now. Build up those high value skills so that way, whether you build up your own thing, you build up your own company, or you build up your own social media influencer, like online presence, whether you go that route or you work for somebody else, hey, you got this knowledge. And I guarantee you, they'll pay you a lot of money for it. Even like if you're going to school to become a doctor or something like, on that magnitude, hey, this is always something good to have in your back pocket. And you might, come to find out that at the end of the day, you might actually get paid a lot more money doing that than you would just going the normal school route. You might not want to tell your parents I said that, but just kind of keep that in mind, my brother. And the last one, number 12, adhere to God's standards opposed to the world's standards. In this day and age, bro, this whole woke culture, right? They're trying to smother and just push all these agendas onto us. And it's coming to a point now where we're having to comply, right? We're having to agree no matter what our beliefs are, no matter what we think. They're constantly trying to transform our minds so it aligns with their beliefs, their agendas. And the consequence is if we don't comply, if we don't agree, then we're canceled, right? We're casted out and looked down upon. And I'm here to tell you guys, hey bro, it's time to rise up as men, as young men, even as you young teenagers here on this channel. We're entering into a new era right now where us men are being called to rise up. There's a great divide right now. You're starting to see more young men right now rising up. So you gotta ask yourself, which side are you gonna stand on? Are you gonna stand on culture's side, or are you gonna stand on God's side? There's only right and wrong. There's no middle gray area. And check it out, bro. I've said this before in other videos. I would rather stand with God and be judged by the world than be standing with the world and be judged by God. That right there, that's a scary thought. At the end of my days, when I meet my maker face to face, I want him to be able to say, hey, well done, my good and faithful servant. Following the world's standards, yet expecting God's power just to flow right through you, it don't work. It's like oil and water. The two, they just don't blend. One must be rejected and one must be received. The Bible says, choose this day whom you will serve. You shall have no other God before me. It says in Exodus. Check it out, bro. For all you young bucks out there who want to become a man, who want to become your most masculine self, the day you become a man is the day you give authority over to God in your life. That's it. When you follow God, when you follow Christ, and you reject culture and all the modern wokeness, this is the day where you become a man. Other than that, I can't agree that you're a man just because you're just doing your best and you're progressing in life and you're nice to people, right? You're an overall good person. Which, hey, that's cool. You got some good values. I'm not saying that you don't, but even a puppy dog has the same values, bro. Even a puppy dog wants to be nice and sweet. And so, you got to think bigger. I know I always say to reject culture, reject the modern ways, and embrace masculinity, right? But what I'm really saying is embrace Jesus. Simple as that. Jesus is the best representation of what masculinity is. And God, bro, He is the creator of masculinity. He didn't create man first and then say, I want you to be masculine. No, masculinity was created right there on the spot. He invented it. He gave man a specific role to play. And you gotta ask yourself, as a young man, you becoming the best, most masculine version of yourself, are you on that road right now? Are you following God and giving up your authority to Him? Because at the end of the day, that is the only way that you can become your most masculine, manly self that God has called you to be. With that said, my brothers, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to get access right now to my masculine masterclass. I'll link that down below for you. Thumbs up if you dug the video. Hit the notifications to be informed when I drop the next video. Check out this one right here. You won't want to miss it. It's a powerful, powerful video. I'll check you on the next one. Peace always.